Hey everybody, this is Mario Kuntz, Director of Operations for Vanguard Exercise Management, and I am excited because it is the weekend, and that means that I've got time to actually prepare breakfast for myself. I'm not rushing around to patients or clients. I got a little bit of time to dedicate to myself and prepare a healthy meal to start my day. So today I'm going to be making a breakfast wrap, and I want you all to join in on me in the process of preparing that wrap. So first thing I'm going to do is I've already got an egg that has been cracked open. I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk. To kind of start my batter off, I'm going to take a whisk and I'm going to whip that up just until it's thoroughly combined. Doesn't take long to do that. Alright, from there I'm going to start to add the seasonings of my choice, and I'm going to start with black and white peppercorns. Now you can use regular pepper if you like black pepper, but I just choose to use the black and white peppercorns for this particular meal. A little bit of parsley flakes. Some adobo, which is an excellent seasoning. Don't need a lot. And then just a little bit of seasonal. Okay, I don't want to go heavy on that because there is a bit of sodium in there and I want to control that. Alright, so I've got all those blended properly and I'm going to mix them up. Now while that's going, I'm going to add the ingredients I'm going to use for my filling, starting with fresh spinach. I've already got a skillet going. It's already heated up. I'm just going to add that spinach into it. And I am also going to throw in just a little bit of fresh garlic. I've got a couple cloves that I have already sliced, and I'm just going to kind of cut those into some small sections. Just dicing it up a little bit. And I love using garlic because of its anti-inflammatory properties, so I throw in garlic into a lot of dishes. And again, not a whole lot, maybe a teaspoonful. I'm going to scrape that into my spinach that I've got sauteing. And I'm going to mix that up a little bit. Kind of see where that's going now. Doesn't take long for this. I just want to get it, nice and soft, so that it mixes in well with my batter. I like to put a lid on my skillet. That kind of controls that drying out process for me. And again, it doesn't take long for that. I'm telling you, learning to cook, probably one of the best skills I ever picked up, and I would encourage anyone, particularly younger kids, to learn how to or be taught how to cook. I happened to start doing that at about age 12, and I found that not only is it great for lessening the dependence on somebody else preparing your meals for you, it's also kind of therapeutic, so I like to do that on a regular basis. Alright, my spinach mixture is ready to go. And again, you don't want to cook that too long because garlic will start to brown on you really quickly. So I'm going to mix that into my batter. Got that all set. Now I'm going to start to add a little bit of olive oil butter. I like doing that as opposed to margarine or regular butter. Definitely not vegetable oil. I typically like to stay away from vegetable oil if I can. Alright, got that coated. I am going to mix in that egg. And that's already cooking up really nicely. Now, Into that mixture, I'm going to add a couple extra things that I like to have in my wrap, and that is a slice of turkey. I'm going to lay that right on top, and a slice of, half a slice actually, of low-fat cheese. I'm going to put that right over the top. This is what it's looking like, and I'm going to give that a cover, just because when it's covered, it doesn't allow it to dry out too quickly, and it really causes that egg, that omelet to fluff up, which is kind of what I'm going for. Again, it doesn't take long for that to cook, so just going to let that sit for a little bit. And that is smelling incredible. Wish you could join in on that. Alright, I'm just going to go across the edges, make sure it doesn't stick. Alright, that's looking good. So, what I like to do is to kind of fold it over. A little bit at a time, right? So I got that going like that. Gonna let it sit for a few other seconds. And then I'm going to give it another roll with that spatula. And let that cook. Once it starts to look like it's cooking pretty well, I'm going to give it another roll. So that's kind of what it's looking like. Cover it up. Alright. I'm going to flip it. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good day. Anytime you can start off with a nice breakfast, you got a good day ahead of you. That looks about done to me. Alright, time to plate this portion of it, and it should roll right off, which it did. So I'm going to take that, scrape off the little excess. I'm going to add a little bit more of that olive oil butter to the center of my skillet, which is already still hot. Again, just enough to coat the bottom. And I'm going to add a tortilla wrap. Put that right down the center, press it down. I'm going to cover it up. All I want here is to allow it to get softened up. So when I fold my egg mixture into it, it's going to be going to allow me to get a nice little wrap on it. It's going to hold its position. Again, I got it covered with the lid over the skillet. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. Again, it doesn't take long for it to soften up. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so I'm actually turning off my stove now because I don't need all the excess heat. Just enough to keep that tortilla nice and soft. And I see it's starting to form a little bubble in the center like that, which means I'm ready to go. So I'm going to take this off of the skillet. And I'm going to plate it. So from here, I got my egg mixture right in the center of that tortilla. There we we go. And I'm going to fold that thing over. I'm going to start with the edges so it kind of comes in this way first, right? So you can kind of see. And the long portion of it, I'm just going to roll over and across. Make sure it stays in the center. Press it down a little bit. Voila, that is my breakfast wrap. I am ready to go. So hopefully this little tip gives you some breakfast suggestions for the next time you have time to make breakfast for yourself. So until next time, remember the Vanguard motto, which is to train hard, eat clean, and stay focused. I'll see you next time.